Hi, Blake Matthews here from Florida Orienteering. In this short video, I'm going to show you how to use the SportIdent timing system, which we're now using in all of our events to keep track of the record keeping, timekeeping, and results posting. SportIdent is a German company that makes the equipment I'm about to show you. The company is called SportIdent, or SI for short. You'll hear us refer to SI timing or SI finger sticks or SI stations. This is all what we're talking about. The system consists of two major components. The first one is these little things right here. They're called finger sticks or SI sticks. It's basically like a little thumb drive for your finger. It has if you cut one open, you can see on the inside there, it has a little flash memory chip on the inside embedded in a dollop of epoxy to keep it waterproof, and that's for writing data about your course. Typically, it's outfitted with either a neck lanyard like this, or more commonly, a finger strap like this that you stick on your finger like that to carry the stick with you. It has a plastic housing, obviously, to keep water and dirt and stuff off of it. It should be completely sealed to protect the chip inside. And the second component is these stations right here. These they call them control stations or e-punch stations, electronic punch stations. And it's just you can see a circuit board inside there. It's got a little display on the back, which you don't typically need to see, and a hole in the front for inserting the finger stick. And every one of them will have a label on it. This one has a number on it indicating that it is a control station. It goes with the flags that are out in the woods. And then there are a few different kinds of these things that have different functions for running the meet. There's a clear, there's a start, there's a finish, there's various ones that you'll need to use. And the essential interface between the two, the interaction between these two, is simply to take the stick and put the business end of it right there. And you can see that when you do that, it has both a visual and an auditory feedback to let you know that the connection was a success, that it wrote data to the chip in the finger stick. It will both flash and beep. Okay? It must beep and flash in order to ensure that data was actually written. If you don't make it into the hole, or if you dip it in too fast, then it may not write. You didn't get the beep and the flash, it didn't write anything to the stick. Nothing worse than getting back at the end of your course and finding out you got disqualified because you didn't punch in on a particular station. So wait for the beep and the flash. If you hold the stick in the station, it'll flash over and over again like this. That doesn't hurt anything, right? But all you need is one. As long as it beeped and flashed one time, you got your data. So make sure you do that. When you go around the course, there's a sequence. I'll just give you the bird's eye view here. This is the structure of a typical course. There'll be a clear and check, a start. Then in the woods, there'll be a series of controlled stations that have numbers on them, 2 or 3-digit numbers. These will be attached to the flags that you're supposed to be finding. Then at the end of the course, there'll be a finish station, and finally a big red readout station or download station. And you're basically going to hit each of these in sequence when you run your course. So the operation will be this. You'll start with clear and check, then hit start, punch, punch, punch all the way around the course, once on each station, finish, and then read out. Now the first thing that you have to do at the beginning, as I said, is the clear. That's vital because these sticks, as I said, there's flash memory chips inside to record data. They remember it, and that chip will probably have leftover data in it from the last time it was used. So the first thing you must do at the beginning of any course before you get on the course is clear the stick, wipe the stick clean of any old data. You do that just by punching in. It'll beep and flash indicating that it has erased the stick. The second station is the check. You punch in there. Beep and flash there indicates that the erasure took, that the stick is now ready to be used. If the check station does not flash, then something's wrong. Go back and clear the stick again. So you do that while you're waiting to get into the start queue, while you're waiting to be assigned your time or waiting for your time to come up to start your course. When you're actually ready to start, you'll go up to the start queue and they'll put you in a line to come up and punch the start station. From the moment you punch in here, your clock is running. This is going to record your official start time. You punch in here. From the instant that flash occurs, your clock is running. Right? You're on the clock. You're on time. Now you're going to go out into the woods. And out there, you're looking for flags, not unlike this one, these little orange and white flags. You'll see them hanging in the woods. They may be attached to fences or vegetation or anything that we choose to hang a control on. Those will be what you're looking for. And attached to each one of them will be a e-punch station. If there's nothing around to attach to, they may be attached to a stake like this one. We'll take one of these stakes out in the woods and put it in the ground. As you can see, this has the e-punch station simply strapped into the stake, and the flag will be hung here. But most of the time at flow events, we're now hanging flags on vegetation or fences or whatever the particular object is. We'll just make use of something that's out in the environment and hang the station this way. Here's a tiny little representation of the flag. It's hung from a line which will be attached to whatever we hung the control on, and then we'll simply hang the e-punch station from the same line that the flag is hanging from. So you'll have the big flag down here with the station suspended right above it. The number on the station and the number on the flag, there'll be a big number on top of the flag, should match every time. And those will correspond to the numbers on your map. So when you come up to the flag, this is a two-handed operation. If it's hung like this, you just grab the punch in one hand, punch in with the other to get your time there. So that'll go all around the course. You find each mark, you punch in sequence. Each and every control, you'll punch in, wait for the beep and flash every time to make sure that every punch occurred. And then when you get to the end, there'll be typically a stake at the end of the course with a finish station on it. You punch in here, that's your official stop time, the moment you punch in on this station. So between start and finish, your clock is running end to end. Your official time that you get scored on is the difference in time between the finish punch and the start punch. Now at that moment, everything's on here, a record of your entire run, when you cleared, when you checked, started, hit every control, finished. It's all in here in the flash memory. To get it to us, you have to come to the download station. Typically near the finish, you'll see a table that has this sign on it. It has the SI logo and a download logo. It says download results here. That's where you'll find this red readout station right here. You come to that point, you punch in right here, and we get a readout on the computer of everything that was in your stick. The printer will spit out a little ticket for you. This is a kind of a bogus one because this is just a dummy course I made up. I don't know if you can even read this. But it has a record of the stick number you were using, your start and finish time, and every control that you hit, the number of each control station that you hit, and the exact time on your course that you were there, the net time to get to that point. This is a bogus one, of course, because I didn't program this course in. So when you do this for real, you get something more like this that has an official your name as assigned in the computer, your start and finish time, your net time, and a list of every control you hit and when you were there. You'll get a little paper copy of this from the download station. The results are then officially in the computer, and nearby the computer there will be a results monitor that'll show everything that the computer knows about all the participants. All the net times anyway. It doesn't show all the split times at each control, but it shows the net time, and it'll scan back and forth if there's a whole bunch of people there that day. So you can look at the results monitor to see how you did. In addition to that, we also post results live to the web in real time. If you look at the download station, there'll be a little sign there like this one that says live meet results in real time. And right here, it shows you the URL, the web link, that you can go to. And you can type all that in if you want on some mobile device you happen to have with you, but the easier way is to go after this QR code right here at the top. If you use any kind of a smartphone device, a phone, a tablet, a phablet, usually those devices will have a QR code scanner built right into them. If they don't, you can get a little app that does it. On this is my iPad right here, and over on this side there's a QR code scanner. You can easily get one of these apps. There are a dime a dozen out there. They're free. Just search for QR scanner, and when you open up an app like that, it gives you a little crosshair, and you just put that crosshair over the QR code. It'll scan it and take you to that web link, and you can get that same data then on your mobile device. This you can also move around, scroll through. It'll also page if there's a whole bunch of results out there. The only caveat is you might need to refresh it once in a while. This doesn't necessarily auto refresh, so just hit the refresh screen every once in a while to pick up whatever the latest results are. In theory, this should update within a few seconds of each runner finishing. So if you have a phone or a tablet with you, you can keep up on these results in real time without having to hang around the finish table. So here's your summary for using SportIdent timing. When you arrive at the meet, you're going to want to have your finger stick at the ready. If you are a JROTC cadet, you'll get your stick from your commanding officer. If you're a civilian, you'll either own your own stick, which is highly recommended, by the way, as it simplifies your registration process, or you can rent one at the registration table. Punching in on any station, remember to insert the stick into the hole in the station. When the punch is completed, the station will beep and flash. This typically takes less than 1 second, but in some cases, if the station has put itself to sleep to save the battery, waking up may take a second or so. Just wait for the beep and flash. If it doesn't beep and flash, you did not get the punch. General usage. When you come up to the start time, right before you are about to start, you will want to clear the stick and check it. Clearing it wipes the stick memory clean. You punch in on the clear station, get the beep and flash. That wipes the stick clean of any data it might have had before. Then you punch in on the check station to make sure that the erasure took. At your actual start time, when you get up to the start queue, there will be one or more stations there on stands. Punch in on any one of them, doesn't matter which one, all starts are the same. Punch in on that, wait for the beep and flash, that starts your official clock running. When you're out on the course, each flag will have a station suspended above it or in some way attached to it. Punch in on each one in sequence. Always wait for the beep and flash, make sure you get every punch. When you come to the end of the course, there'll be one or more stations marked finish, usually on stands. They're all the same, doesn't matter which one you punch, they all do the same thing. Each one stops your clock when you punch in on it. Afterward, look for the computer station at the finish tent. Punch in on the red readout station right here. That's what downloads all the data you've been accumulating throughout the course into the computer so we can score you. Remember that everyone punches in and out of every course that they run, start, finish, and readout. I don't care how many controls you actually found or what your time was, everybody punches in and out. We use that information. That's the permanent record that you have returned from the course that you're accounted for. So do us the favor of helping keep track of everyone. Punch in on the stations at the end. Now, if you are using live locks, and everyone should be using live locks, there's another set of videos I've created for getting your smartphone set up to record and how to use live locks to enjoy all the nice features after you've recorded your track. SI and live locks are actually two completely independent systems. They don't really have anything to do with each other, but they work together seamlessly. Here's how that happens. When you come up to your the 5 minutes or so before your start time, you'll clear and check your finger stick, just as we said before. That makes the stick ready to be used. At the same time, pull out your smartphone, open the LiveLox app. It should say recording as you right here. If it doesn't, check the information I have in my setup video for how to get LiveLox set up on your phone. Right here under event and class, it'll say tap to select. You tap that, and then you'll get the list of available events. There should be only one event in it, which is the one you're at. After that, you'll get a choice list of courses that you can run. You're going to pick the course you're about to run. Then those should show right here in your LiveLox screen. Don't punch the start record button yet. When you actually get in the start queue and it comes up to your start time, that's when you pull the phone back out, press the start button right here to start your LiveLox GPS track recording. Then shut the screen off, put the phone away, then punch in on the start station with your finger stick to start your official clock and take off on your course. At the finish, you'll punch in on the finish station. That stops your official clock. Then you'll pull the phone back out. You'll see that it's been accumulating a tab of time and distance right here. You'll press the stop button right here. That stops the recording and begins the upload process. That's all automatic. The app will upload your track to the website and overlay it on your correct course automatically. You don't have to do anything else. Then you come to the finish tent, find the readout station, punch in there so that we get your splits times from your finger stick. Afterwards, you get to enjoy all the data you've collected. There'll be, typically at the finish table, there'll be a monitor out there attached to the computer that has the day's results on it. On that, you'll see a listing of everybody who's run on each course and their times, sorted in order by least time to longest time. You can also get the same information, as you know, through your mobile device. If you have a smartphone or a tablet with you, just scan the QR code that's on the sign at the finish table. That will bring up the online results that has the same information as the results screen. If you've just finished, you'll notice that some results flash in yellow. Anybody who's just come in the last few minutes, those are the ones that'll be flashing. So if you've just come in, look for a flashing yellow one. That'll be you. We've also talked in other videos about the use of Splits browser. You'll notice there's a link up here in the upper right hand corner that will take you to a Splits browser screen. That shows you graphically how much time you gained and lost on each control. It's a way of quickly getting through all the splits times that have been recorded in people's finger sticks to see where your problem controls were. See my other videos for details on how to use that. But that's available to you in real time as well. And then finally, you should be able to look up your track in LiveLox. Give it a minute or two for the track to upload, and then it should be available. You can do that on your smartphone at www.livelox.com. Typically, the app will actually ask you if you want to go look at the track you just recorded, and you can go straight there through that. In addition, at most events, we'll have a second computer and second monitor set up so that we can display track replays in real time as people come in. That's it. If you have any questions about how this either system, either LiveLox or SI, works, don't hesitate to ask your CO or anyone who is at the flow registration table or finish table. We'll be happy to answer your questions.